Jeff, it's so good to see you, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's good to see you. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Everything's good, man. I have had so much fun watching you develop over the years, your sound and what you're doing. It just keeps getting better and better. And I think the last time I saw you was last winter at the Green Lady. Or at the Black Dolphin, and I was just like, it was wonderful, man. I was just absolutely blown away hearing it live, and the way that you were just the incarnation of musicians you were around. It was wonderful. So to have a live album out right now, it's great. What a great album.
Thanks. Yeah, we have Trio Live at Green Lady Lounge out now, and that's available. Even if someone's at Green Lady, they can ask for it, or even if you go to greenladylounge.com. But that was a really fun night, and got to thank the clubs for facilitating it, for allowing a lot of composition and a lot of interplay to happen. Without those clubs and an audience to play for, it becomes a lot harder. And um, I don't know. I've always wanted to grow more. I've always felt like some people seem to just come out and just be amazing at such a young age. And I've always felt like I'm growing. I'm trying to be like that. I'm always even after college, like I didn't feel like I was like the best guitarist, obviously, and a lot of people don't, but maybe some are better at faking it than others. But I've always loved the growth process. Maybe too much sometimes, but I love growing, and I feel like even I think a musician should feel like they're at the if we're practicing the way we should be or living the way we should be, we should feel like we're kind of at the top of where we've ever been. I can because of my practice regimen that I'm doing every day, waking up, I never leave the house without, playing a little bit. Um, I know that that's helped a lot. Even in the last year, I feel like, I've grown a lot. And you just want people, you want to share it with people. You want to show people that, hey, I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. So if you're lucky, you get a chance to actually share it with people, and hopefully they see some growth. So thank you very much for saying that.
I moderated a panel with the Headhunters about a month ago, and Donald Harrison was there. And at one point, he explained how live music is almost like slipping into a heaven. You just everything goes away. You get into this world of just feeling the music. The world melts away. And I think it's more important than ever with things that are happening in this world here in 2025. Is that a part of you? Are you cognizant of not only performing this nightly on a regular basis in the premier venue in Kansas City, but giving this live album to people? Is that something that's on the forefront of your thoughts?
Yeah, I think a lot of times wanting to create something magical, maybe to give a young listener or a listener something like I felt a long time ago. Like you realize that these songs, they're a combination of little moments. So it is trying to create little moments or listening back and hoping to find a couple moments, a few moments that are really special. And that's something you can hope for. That's really, and then like, yeah, creating something where people can kind of leave the day-to-day stressors behind is something I think an artist should do. And kind of like when you go see a play or you go see a movie, you want to get lost in it, and you want to, when you can see the acting, you can have a great story, and the movie can be shot beautifully, but if the acting has to be really on, and just every element has to be on to really take the listener out of it, so they can kind of escape the day to day.
Yeah. Well, the one thing behind the curtain of being involved with the Black Dolphin and the Green Lady is that John Scott and Ken Laverne and cats that are orchestrating all of this and the albums and the performances. It's such a big deal. It's such a big thing. What is it like to be involved in such an iconic that's becoming such an iconic Kansas City institution? What does it mean for you in your career to be able to release an album with them and to have this creative freedom to get on stage all the time to do your work?
Oh, it means a ton. It's a dream come true, and it inspires me to write, music. I try to envision the audience when I'm composing, and get to try different groups. Like got to play, we did the Hopper Shirley Quintet this year, where it was myself and Matt Hopper, and even percussion and a full quintet. And so that was really fun to get to try some different things like that. And yeah, this was fun because it was a little less, usually when I do an album, a studio album. I'm pretty hands-on the whole way. And this was a similar process. I was very hands-on, but as you know, it's like it's a live album. So um, in the studio, it's very much like there's a lot of pressure, and each take is so important. But at the end of the day, it's like we could come back in and do another session if we wanted to. But on the live recording, it was the tightrope. It was a really fun tightrope that I had never really felt before. It was like, oh, this is a different kind of tightrope. This is and I do hope to do that again because it was a fun process. And if I could get better at doing that, I think that would be great. But yeah, recording, and you just want to, it just reminds us that when we're playing live, every take is, we try to treat every take like it could be recorded. And that means thinking about the endings, and that means if you make a mistake, you keep going, and all these things.
And I think it's special for those that are in the crowd too. I remember the Boogaloo 7 did a recording back in 15 when the Royals were humming and it was in the fall and we were all like all the buildings were bathed in blue downtown and you could just feel, that time in Kansas City history. But to feel and to feed off of that energy, what was it like on that recording? What was the buzz in the air, the feeling of having that live interaction with the crowd?
That was March 11th, 2025. And it was really energetic. There was a lot of people there. Some knew about the live recording, some didn't. Luckily, they were very supportive and engaging. And after songs, they were very tuned in that night. Sometimes, they're not as tuned in. They might be like on a Friday or Saturday night, there might be a different atmosphere, but this was a Tuesday night, and they were tuned in, and it just felt like an energetic night. It was probably over too quick, but that's how things go sometimes. You build up for so long. I was practicing my butt off before that, because you just wanted to get to a new level, and and then we also realized, like, okay, but I'm just gonna play the tunes. It's like just play music. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just play good music from the heart. So that we're reminding ourselves sometimes that. And then afterwards, I'm trying to live in a way where I act at my highest intelligence, and I just let it go. Because, like, we can't control every outcome. So after it's done, I've worked over the past years, going back to, point of the story in 2018, let it go. Releasing an album or anything is kind of tough because there is an element of, I gotta let it go. I can't worry about that one thing that bugs me or whatever. Just let it go.
Yeah. The one thing about the Green Lady and the Black Dolphin is on the radar of jazz, and we've not only are we steeped in history, but even in the modern day, there's so many cats, so much talent in this town. It's a lightning rod for people to come in to see live music. I'm curious, one time I interviewed Joe Cartwright, and he said that Billy Joel on tour would sit in the lounge and listen to him play. And I'm wondering if the big cats that come through, like Brad Meldau and Christian McBride were here last week. We have cats coming through all the time. Have there been people that have come into the club while you've been playing that you catch in the crowd or come up and say something to you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And by the way, I did see that Meldau concert with Christian McBride. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hear stories about comedians. They'll sit in the back, they'll go in the back and listen. Of course, they don't go in the front because that's where you can get kind of roasted sometimes. But they sit in the back and they just enjoy it. And I think we have to enjoy the art forms that we're doing. And musicians come in all the time, passing through that are on tour. Um, like not too long ago, the band from Boy George was in town, and great young sax player with them, and they gave us a few tickets to come see them at Starlight. So that was
Cool.
just so nice, and you just never know who's coming through. The other day, someone from a jazz festival from Nepal said, "Hey, we've got a jazz festival. This might be a great group." So you just really never know who's coming in. So it's good to shake hands and be available there. And there might have even been a Jason Sudeikis sighting not too long ago.
Right on. I figured as much. So let's get to the important business here. If anybody wants to pick up a copy of the album in the variety of physical forms, download it that will benefit you and the Green Lady the most, catch you live, your itinerary's full with Green Lady and Black Dolphin. What's the good news? Where can people find out?
Okay. GreenLadyLounge.com has CDs available. And you can also, if you're ever at Green Lady, you can just ask a bartender or wait staff, and they've got some there. You can also ask myself, and my band camp is Jeff Shirley Jazz. You can find the physicals there as well. And yeah, come out on Tuesday nights, 10:30 p.m. at Green Lady Lounge. And I'm also there other times, but that's that's something you can catch me at least till the end of this year. Things are always changing, but yeah, I'd love to see anyone shake might come up and wave at me and tell me you saw me on Neon Jazz, and that would be great.
I love it. Jeff, always so good to catch up with you. Thank you so much for taking a minute. I can't wait to profile this on the show.
Thank you, Joe. This is a real treat. Thanks for everything.
Yes, sir. Thank you.